What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Rugby Muscle YouTube channel. TJ here, and today I'm doing another one of those coaches react videos. Yes, I am Alex-less, as he's just landed in the US, and so we haven't been able to get him on, but I did see this video prop up on my feed, and since I had a couple DMs on the Rugby Muscle Instagram, which you can follow us on the link below, because I actually now respond to the DMs. I'm actually checking it on a regular basis. I'm taking that Instagram seriously. I had a couple DMs saying that they like the reaction videos to professional S and C, and so when this video propped up, I have to do it. I have to do a coaches react video. So hopefully you guys will get an insight into what this session is about, because the All Blacks do a good job of posting their gym stuff and it looks really cool, but there isn't often a lot of context to it. So hopefully you can take some lessons from this and see what you can apply to your training. First thing to note, actually, before I get into it, is that this video, or this session, they do a very good job of just going to local gyms and using local gyms. A lot of the time, what you'll see in professional S&C, particularly with the home nations, I see it all the time with England, you've seen it with the Lions, they'll send like shipping containers worth of just gym equipment over to wherever they want to go. And then what happens more often than not is that it costs too much to then ship it back. So they'll just leave it wherever they're at. And that's okay. Like, it's a professional environment. They're more within their rights to do that. But what you'll see with the All Blacks is that they'll go and they'll find a gym that fits their needs and they'll use their equipment. And I guess environmentally, it's probably a little bit more friendly, but overall, it's a different outlook. So you'll see them hitting this local gym in Dublin, and sometimes they'll share the gyms with local population. Here, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they've taken over the gym for this afternoon or this morning session. So you'll have seen them warming up already, and we've got some fairly heavy deadlifts going on here. Note the complete control over this movement. So it seems like it's fairly heavy, but to him, it's clearly not. I think this is a prop. It's a decent bit of weight, but for him, he's controlling it and he's exploding up. There's no real overall massive strain. And we've got Bodie doing the Olympic lifts. Decent cleans. Look at that power that he's generating to get that bar all the way up. Really good movement. Got some. I bet you those sprints are done for no more than 6 or 7 seconds. What we got going on here? Some squats and some Olympic lifts in the background. Note the Olympic lift in the background is high pull. So I've seen this a lot from the All Blacks. They do a lot of power cleans, but they're not afraid to use high pulls if guys aren't as efficient on the catch part, or if they have shoulder or elbow issues. They're quite happy, as you can see this guy in the background here, doing just high pulls. They're quite happy for their guys to do that. A lot of people also call out this squat depth. I'm okay with it. Like, if you're not competing in powerlifting, yes, it is good to get a good range of motion, but if you're a prop, this range of motion here, look, that's the bottom he hits. It's still good depth, to be fair, but that you're not going to get any lower than that in a scrum. You're not going to get any more of this angle in a scrum, so it serves him perfectly. Maybe he can do full ranges on a lighter weight, and that would be considered a separate exercise. You can do different depths for different purposes, absolutely. I often will shit on these the Theragun type things, but overall, if you're a professional athlete and it makes you feel good, use it. I don't think it adds too much to training though. If he's just got a tight shoulder from contact training or from the games, loosen it up, get some blood flow in there. It's fine. Not really overly necessary though. Got another one of these sprints going on. Let's see. Yeah, I think what they're doing there is that high intensity sprint. So they're going for about 7 seconds here. Let's see if because as soon as he slows down, it's going to cut off. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so those are high intensity sprints for sure. Big Sammy Whitelock on the bench press. Again, fairly heavy, but not an insurmountable amount of weight. He's not getting close to failure there. Maybe he's at least a couple set reps away from failure. And then Richie with a fantastic. Let's take a second, everybody. Let's take a second to appreciate that mullet. It is That is a top mullet. And this clean is also a really good bloody clean. 100 kilos on the bar, and he's going from the power position. If you do Olympic lifts for sport, you're better off doing them from the power position, because there's no real movement that, or like sport application and really is necessary for you to pull from the floor. This hand clean, this is a really good movement actually, to be fair. So he gets it there, cleans it right up, gets low enough for it to, you know, still be full extension, and then drops it and resets. Another really important point there, because he's probably because he's catching with just his fingers, it's easier for him to drop it and then reset rather than try to catch it back on the way down, any risk of injury. Yeah, it looks like the Type 5 are all doing those high intensity sprints. Look at that, go, 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 and then the camera cuts out before he slows down. Weighted chins. All Blacks are really good for doing just meat and potato sessions, you know. They've really just moved in, and I think their overall philosophy is that they just play good rugby, and they use their S&C to support it. Their S&C isn't necessarily a differentiator. Their big physical players are already genetically fairly gifted, and it isn't to say they work hard, it's just to say that they don't do anything overly elaborate. You know, they do their squats, they do their Olympic lifts, they do their speed work, and then they just focus on being the best rugby team that they can be, and they use this to allow them to, you know, play their best and support their game they're doing. Bit of network in the background, did you see that? The static network here is holding that and doing sideways lunges. I like that. We've got going on some jumps now. Yeah, note the height of the box here. They're not trying to jump on the highest box possible. They're just trying to jump really high and land with straight legs. I believe I mentioned this in the pre-game workout video that I did. You don't have to jump on the highest box possible. In fact, that's just asking for a potential to risk injury. Instead, you're better off at just jumping as high as possible and then still landing on the box to, you know, no real reason other than it's an easier landing. It's a good little target to get your feet up. And if you land with straight legs, well, like slightly bent knees, but straighter legs, then you're focusing on extending up and jumping as high as possible. So that's what D-Mac's doing here, and Richie. A good coaching tip is to focus on landing as quietly as possible. Good old Nordics. Check it out. He's got boxing gloves as his pads there. See? Let me go back further back so you can see. So underneath his knees, on there. Look at that. He's got boxing gloves as the knee pads. It's great. Really good hamstring movement. Notice as well that these guys are finishing out their season. They're not really doing anything high rep or anything. They're just shifting, they're just focusing on maintaining whatever strength, whatever power they've got at the minute, and they're not really going to make anything overly, they're not going to make any massive gains at this point in their power or anything else. But they need to keep topping it up. So power, speed, those are the first things to go. Strength is something that can easily be maintained with just a few sets of a few reps each week, and then you're moving tin quite fast, explosively. That's going to maintain your power as well, so that you can focus then on your rugby sessions just on the rugby, and then you let your fitness will take care of itself at this point, because they're so deep into. They must have been going for almost half a year at this point. TJ Pedernada with the power cleans as well. See, he's cleaning from the floor. Maybe he just finds that a better movement for him. And then we've got, again, when I was talking about different depths of squats, you can also have different types of squats. So we've got a rear foot elevated split squat here. Don't get it twisted. You can do rear foot elevated split squats or Bulgarian split squats fairly heavy if you want to, as this prop here is absolutely doing. Cool session, man. They real simple, real meat and potatoes, allowing them to keep and maintain their strength, maintain their power, and then get into their training for their tough matches that they're going to have coming up against Ireland. I don't know who else they're playing, but that was a cool video. So with that all being done, I'll just leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments on this session or any videos that you would like me to react to, particularly once I get Alex back on the Coaches React videos, pop them in the comments below. If you have nothing else to say, just comment below. It helps out the algorithm, or just give it a real thumbs up to help out the channel. Really does help the channel grow. Speaking of the channel growing, if you haven't already, if you're new to this channel, then subscribe yourself, as you will then get to see lots of rugby strength and conditioning, rugby fitness, rugby nutrition, mostly geared at amateur athletes. These guys have got their training taken care of. You, as an amateur player that wants to get the most out of your training, will benefit from this YouTube channel. So hopefully you've hit subscribe already. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one.